Hey everyone, my name is Bola Shokumbi. I'm the founder and CEO of Clever Girl Finance, and welcome to Clever Girl Finance TV. So in this video today, we're going to talk about sinking funds, what they are, why you need them, and how to get started with yours. Be sure to stay tuned to the end of this video because I'm going to be showing you how to get access to the Clever Girl Finance budgeting and debt prioritization worksheets. So let's get into the video. So what is a sinking fund? Basically, a sinking fund is a fund that you put aside for one-time or irregular expenses that you know are coming up. So for instance, let's say you want to replace the tires on your car. You know that you're going to need to do that in about 6 months. What you would do is basically put this money aside in a sinking fund so that you don't have to leverage debt or your emergency fund or other savings in order to replace those tires when that time frame comes around. So from a personal example, my husband and I, we own our own home. And when we purchased our home, we knew that we're going to need to replace the roof in about 2 years. And so we set up a sinking fund for the roof where we started to put money into this account every single month so that when that 2-year time frame came around, we already had the money set up in order to pay for that roof replacement. And so you might be wondering, well, what is the difference between a sinking fund and an emergency fund? Well, a sinking fund is a fund where you know that that expense is coming up. You know that that trip, that vacation, that repair, whatever it might be, you know that that's coming up. Whereas your emergency fund is for your unplanned life expenses, right? It's for things you don't know are going to happen, like a job loss, like you have to buy an emergency plane ticket to get somewhere. And so as you think about your finances overall, it makes sense for you to have both of these types of funds as part of your financial plan. So ideally, you have your sinking fund for those planned upcoming expenses that are either one-time or just irregular expenses. And then you have your emergency fund for your unplanned expenses. So you don't want to be tapping into your emergency fund for planned expenses because if something unexpected happens, you still want to have your emergency fund in place to help you weather that storm. And when it comes to sinking funds, you can have a sinking fund for a variety of things. You can have it for home repairs, for wedding planning, for taxes if you're self-employed. You basically just want to designate an account and build the transactions to save for your sinking fund into your budget. So when it comes to setting up your sinking fund and determining how much you need, there's a couple of steps that you need to take. Number one, you want to determine what the expense that you have coming up is, right? So what is that expense that is that one-time or irregular expense that you need to start saving money for? Number two, you want to take that expense and break it down by the time frame by which you'll need to pay for it. So how many months into the future is that expense? And then it'll help you determine how much you need to save every single month. Once you've broken that expense down by time frame, next you want to build it into your budget. So you know how much every single month you need to allocate to your budget to put aside to that sinking fund. And then finally, it's a great idea to open a designated account that is easily accessible where you can start to put this money in for each of your sinking funds, right? And so as you start to contribute to those funds, when you max them out or you reach how much you need to save in them, then you can allocate that money somewhere else. An easy way to manage your transfers into your sinking fund so that you can make sure you actually are able to save for that expense coming up is to automate that transfer through your payroll or through your bank account. So if you don't already have a sinking fund, it's a great idea to start one in conjunction with your emergency fund. So determine what those expenses are, break them out by month depending on the time frame in which you need to save for them by, and then start to make those deposits into your sinking fund account. I hope you guys have enjoyed watching this video, and if you have, be sure to subscribe to this channel and tell all your best girlfriends. And then head over to clevergirlfinance.com so you can get access to our budgeting and debt prioritization worksheets to help you as you work on improving your finances. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll talk to you in the next video.